of health. That's right. It's not just about money. We share tips every week to improve your physical, your mental, your social, your spiritual, obviously your financial, and your intellectual health. Today, we're focusing on how to improve intellectual health with intuition. If you have never seen Millionaires Are Made, this is the show built on the fundamental beliefs that every person you meet knows something you don't, and there's something to be learned from everyone in this big, beautiful world. We are on a mission to teach the world how to grow into the healthiest, happiest millionaires in all 6 aspects of life. Today, we got 3 awesome guests. They're going to share 3 awesome tips on how to improve your intellectual health with intuition and in the spirit of authenticity to try to remove as much bias as possible. We don't talk about or share our tips before the show starts. So when you hear them share their advice live, it's going to be our first time hearing them as well. Audience, this is an interactive show, so please comment, ask questions, all that kind of stuff. We will ask them and answer them live on air. Real quick, want to give a quick shout out to some of our followers. If you want to be shouted out, got to follow us on Facebook, Donna Franklin, you're awesome. Instagram, Sarah Wilson, you're great. TikTok, Amanda, and on YouTube, Embolden Adventures. Thank you so much. Whoo. Guests, if you would like to be a guest on our show, we're going to drop a link right now. We always look for guests. We love new guests. You can be a guest. I know you have something to share. Click the link. Sign up right now. We'd love to have you. And if you have any topic ideas, we're always looking for new topic ideas as well. Maybe something's struggling with you right now. Maybe it's financially. Maybe socially you feel a little lonely. Let us know. We'll go find 3 awesome guests to give you 3 tips to help you through that hump in life. If you like what we do, free knowledge for everyone to help grow. Please be sure to send stars, share, like, subscribe, whatever it is on whatever medium you're watching us. And if you like learning a lot, I do love teaching. I do offer free growth consultations. That link's being dropped right now. We can have a little one-on-one, little coffee date, something of that sort if you want to hang out. And finally, we do have merchandise available. Sweet shirts like the one I'm wearing. We got all sorts of stuff. So check that out. Support us. Grab some merch. And our final little tidbit before we get into the show is our sponsors. This show's brought to you by Craig Sakowski, one of our favorite guests and sponsors ever, a human behaviorist mentor, helping entrepreneurs discover their true identity, purpose, and achieve growth, not just in business, but in life as well. Craig's awesome. Go check him out. Next sponsor is Sara Jones. Sarah's a crazy, awesome story. Used to be buried in debt, used to be in an unhappy marriage, and now has built her financial foundation that helps her and her husband travel the USA in a giant, they travel with like 6 toys, let's be honest. They have a huge mobile home. They got like dirt bikes and buggies and cars and stuff, and they just travel around teaching people about how to have healthy financial foundations. They're awesome. Go check her out. Our next sponsor is Dana Record. Dana empowers over 30-year-old individuals with essential end-of-life planning knowledge, helping families reduce stress and navigate loss with clarity, preparedness, and peace of mind. And our final sponsor, thank you so much for this episode, is Roxandra Nachita, who is a passionate mom of 2 under 2 years old, also a podcast host, speaker, and founder of the Super Moms Magic Circle, helping heart-led moms turn chaos into clarity and build soul-aligned success. Go check her out and say hello. And that brings us to our first guest, Jennie. Jennie, tell us, who are you?
Hello, I'm Jennie Friedman, and I'm an ADHD coach, and I'm a business coach, and I help fast brains make more money. So I help like entrepreneurs and influencers grow their business without endlessly scrolling, having to like post content all day using human design and astrology and the Gene Keys. So it's basically your cosmic blueprint. We get you into aligned marketing instead of this even attraction marketing. It's even better than attraction marketing.
All right, aligned marketing, better than attraction marketing. All right. Well,
aligned.
Jennie.
Yeah, being aligned.
Aligned. Yeah, being aligned. And you said it's better than attraction marketing, right?
Right.
Okay, we're quoting you on that. It's going on our next set of shirts. Don't worry. All right, Jennie, I've got a super important question for you. If I wanted to improve my intellectual health with intuition, what tiny piece of advice would you give me?
Spend some time every single day tuning inward to yourself instead of outward, scrolling and looking at everything in the world around you. Spend every single day.
Okay, let's elaborate that. Tell us what you mean by that.
Well, everybody's scrolling and looking outside of themselves for answers. And what do you do? And what do you do? Oh, it worked for him. Oh, that's what you did. Oh, okay. And so it keeps you on this kind of hamster wheel of not tuning into your own intuition. You can't hear your intuition unless you're kind of quiet. And because I work with fast brains, they're really chatty inside. um, I found that that's the key. Even if it's 5 seconds of every single day, like tuning into inward, I say take your eyeballs and look inward and just kind of quietly breathe. And you'd be surprised. You go ding, like things come in.
Okay, you know we're gonna ask this. How do we look inward?
So you would literally close your eyes and you imagine your eyeballs looking inward.
They're just staring at eye sockets.
Yep. Yes, that's what you do. And you do that for, like I said, like if you can build up to 5 minutes, that's great. But if you start with 5 seconds, perfect.
And what? And so I'm just staring at the eye sockets, and that's the point.
Yes, you're just being very quiet, staring at the eye sockets and letting all the noise just kind of go down.
Fascinating. Okay, sounds like we have at least part of our daily challenge coming up. All right, tell us where on your life journey did you learn this advice?
So I actually had a very spiritualish experience meeting my higher self when I was going for a walk one day, and I had heard you need to tune into your higher self to get answers. I thought, well, okay, I don't even know how to do that. So I was just walking, and in the walking, you can kind of, it kind of clears the cobwebs out. You're not listening to the brain chatter as much. And I was like, oh, okay, I see. I need to kind of be quiet. I was getting this like thought to stop thinking. So I was trying to stop thinking. And as I was walking, this presence kind of came upon me, and I felt sheer joy and wonderment in the world. And I know I looked like a nut walking down the street because I was going like, as I was walking, and it felt like everything was new and different, and it was so weird. And then after about 10 or so minutes, I was like, I think I'm kind of done with this. Like, I don't know what's happening. And I felt something kind of lift out of me. And I'm walking by the water near my house, and I said, I really thought I was going to hear an alien or ghost or something say something. I was like, who are you? And I heard in my head, like, I am you. I was like, what? What's that even mean? And it took me on a real exploration into learning about your higher self and how we have different aspects of us. And none of it is in other people, it's all in you.
Have you read Eckhart Tolle, The
Yes,
Power of
love
Now?
Eckhart Tolle. Yes, yes. I would read
Did
his
you read
stuff.
him before or after you met your higher self?
Probably during that time. It was probably about that time when I started. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't, I had heard of it before, and I always thought I was a pretty, like, you know, spiritually kind of, out there person and could have, like, but that was wild to me. And it really validated some of what I was hearing from other people like him. And I thought, I'll try it. I did not expect to get that big thing come in. And that's what really, now I can tell you, like, I hear my higher self telling me to tell people, look in, close your eyes. And so now I actually kind of hear messages like that. So that's where I got that from. Like, I didn't make it up myself. I kind of got it from a higher source.
That's fascinating. I can almost guarantee we're going to be talking about that in the round robin. Thank you so much, Jenny. We're going to move on to our next guest, and
Great.
we'll bring you back out in just a few minutes. Let's hear what Tina has to say. Tina,
Hello.
who are you?
Who am I? I am Tina C. Hines. I'm a certified life coach as well as a fifth generation intuitive healer, clairvoyant medium. I work with women 35 and older who are on a journey from hurting to healing to happiness, who have experienced past challenges in their lives and need to identify tools to help them navigate it and work through it versus sit in it. And I host healing retreats, international healing retreats for women as well. And I've been doing this for about 13 years. Legitimately 13 years,
Nice.
probably more than that when I was in my corporate career.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, so 13 years ago, essentially, you ended corporate and
Yeah.
started leaning into your life coaching.
A mixture of both
expertise.
of them, because it was interesting. People in my office would often come and have conversations with me, and I'm really like, why are you here? Like, we don't talk. But they were like, you always give us guidance and you put it into bite-sized pieces, and it comes in a form of non-judgmental. You give us some strategies that help us put forth the effort to make a shift. And I'm like, okay, I guess.
That's fascinating. So you kind of sounds like life kind of forced you into it
Yeah,
itself,
it
huh?
did. I didn't choose it. It chose me. That's the way I've always
It
said, it
chose
chose
me.
me. I was minding my business in corporate America. I had no intention of becoming a coach, but it chose me.
All right, Tina. Well, let's talk. Boil it down to just one thing. If I wanted to improve my intellectual health with intuition, what simple piece of advice would you give me?
I would go, especially because it's mental health awareness for the month of May. I would say um, mindfulness is key. But when I think about mindfulness and mental stillness, I'm considering unplugging from social media, um, unplugging from TV or the news, anything that's going to cause anxiety or making you feel overwhelmed. Try to unplug from that for a period of time.
How long?
Only you know. Only your vessel knows. Like I haven't watched the news probably in about 20 years. When people ask me what's going on in the world, I may get it from bits and pieces of other conversations, but I do not physically sit down and watch the news. I feel like it disrupts your peace and it has a impact on you that is not positive. The same with social media. Of course, a lot of us use social media because that's what we do. That's how we extend our reach to individuals. However,
Right.
I've given myself, there were times where I would unplug for a full month. I'm going on a mental health detach for a period of time. I'll still stay connected with those individuals via email, but as far as social media, I will start disconnecting everything.
Fascinating. Fascinating. Where on your life journey did you learn this advice?
This was more personal when I was going through my spiritual awakening and trying to identify what was clinical depression and what was an awakening. And I felt like there was so much external noise that was going on outside of me, in addition to inside of me, that I just needed to unplug from it. And I found that it gave me so much clarity when I sat in stillness with information that started to flow in, because what you're doing is you're creating space. You have all of this information, like information overload. But when you start disconnecting from those things that are being fed into you, you create space for new information to flow in.
Fascinating. Very insightful, Tina. All right. Well, we are going to move on to our next guest and we'll bring it back out in the round robin. Thank you so much, Tina. Next up, we have Sara.
Hello.
Sara, hi, who are
I'm
you?
Sara Racasano. I'm an author. I'm an international motivational speaker. I am a way shower. I'm a world traveler, and I'm the founder of the encouragement platform Emboldened Adventures that inspires personal, professional, and spiritual transformation and development.
Wow, fascinating. You do a lot, but I want you to boil it down to one piece of advice. Sara, if I wanted to improve my intellectual health with intuition, what tiny piece of advice would you give me?
So I would define intellectual health first. There's EQ and IQ. And so I believe we're speaking to the EQ, which is the emotional quotient. The IQ is the intelligence, the brain. And I think to improve
Let's do the
the
IQ.
IQ, well, I think the EQ matters when it comes to intuition, right? It's feeling with your heart.
Ooh.
Because your intellect, your IQ is your brain, right? You need proof. You need to find facts. You need to, back up what you think from the external confirmation of the world. Whereas EQ is listening to your guiding star from within. And so when you learn to
Okay.
really hone in on what matters, where your kind of inner voice is guiding you, despite the peer pressure around you, I think that's improving your intellectual health, in my opinion.
Fascinating. Sara, where on your life journey did you learn this?
Oh, I've been learning this forever. So I've struggled throughout my 20 plus year career. I left the world of Wall Street. I was an investment banker for about 10 years. I worked in private equity. I was working in renewable energy. Overall, in my old career, I closed 40% of my deals. So I touched 30 billion of transactions over the life of my career, of which I closed 12 billion. So that was the old world. And then I walked away from all that. I walked away from all of it. And now here I am listening to my guiding light. But it's been an ongoing exercise throughout my life as a New Yorker, too. No one's going to tell me what to do. I know what's right.
I like that. Awesome, Sara. All right. Well, hey, let's bring everyone out and have a little round robin discussion here. Audience, this is a great time to ask questions. So we'll start with Jennie. Jennie, can you quickly refresh what your tip was for us?
Yep, I'm saying spend a little time every single day looking inward and not looking outward, which is a lot of what I think we're all kind of saying. It's like, if you're looking outward, if you're seeking, and listening to this person and that person, it could be scrolling. Maybe you don't think you're doing it, but you're doing it even if you're by yourself, scrolling, looking to see what this article says, looking to see what that TV show says, and you're just taking in information. It's too loud, and you need to stop so that you can just focus on what's inside of you and coming inside of you. And so, like I said, close your eyes to do it.
Tina, what are your thoughts on Jennie's tip?
So what's great about Jennie's tip, and as she was sharing it previously about going inward and like turning your eyes around, I always see colors whenever I've done that. And sometimes those colors have a significant meaning, or they just take you to another space. Blue or yellow, red are ones that typically show up. And as you're going in, it's almost like doing a self check-in. And I love, love, love when we allow ourselves to do a self check-in. So that is an amazing tip that many of us need to implement more of.
What does yellow red mean when you close your eyes and look at your eye sockets?
Yellow and red for me gives me intensity, where blue is more calming and peaceful and serenity. And that means, of course, and that means that there's a lot going on that needs to be not essentially addressed, but more so explored. There's a lot going on that may be explored, that you find out what it is connected to.
All right. All right, Sara, what are your thoughts on Jennie's tip?
So as I continue to grow my, sort of psychic gifts and my connection to self and spirit with various teachers, channelers, and wisdom keepers of around the world, we know that we're made of energy. And so I think when we go within during meditation, we ground with nature, we realize that we can actually see whatever's going on inside our body. In a sense, that's your third eye. So for me, like, I look at it from a medical standpoint. Like, if there's a pain or there's some sort of stuck energy in the 7 chakras, we talk about colors, right? The chakras are all different colors. You can actually go within and start to evaluate, listen to that still soft voice, and trust that higher self that helps to identify where the issues are. I just came from a Wachuma ceremony this past weekend, which is an Andean cactus, and it's a heart opening plant medicine. And it really forced me to look in certain areas where it manifested into true pain. So when you clear the energy and you acknowledge it and you work with it, you can really make yourself healthier and more emotionally, I think, connected.
What was the name of the plant that you had?
San Pedro Huachuma. It's a cousin to peyote, but it's grown in the Andes Mountains in the high altitudes.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to ayahuasca as well?
Aya is different. So this is what my upcoming book's going to be about, and part of my spiritual awakening. Aya is a vine, and it's combined with the chacruna leaf in the Amazon rainforest. So chacruna has the DMT. Ayahuasca has this enzyme inhibitor. So when they combine together, it allows for the medicine to work. But Huachuma is a cactus, so it's different.
Wow.
Fascinating. Very cool. All right, Tina, can you refresh what your tip was for us?
Mine was mental stillness, unplugging from places like social media or the news that can overstimulate our body and cause us to overanalyze.
Sarah, what are your thoughts on that tip?
100% agree. 100% agree, because right now I think there's a lot of misleading things in the news, and we've known that for a very long time for those that have been paying attention. And this is why I started Embolden Adventures so long ago, is because I love to travel the world. And when I was out there seeing the world, I realized that CNN and the news channels were telling me the wrong thing. And so when you get out there to see the world and be emboldened, I know Tina was talking how she's in Morocco recently, so was I, and it's amazing, when you actually truly meet people, make that heart connection. You realize 95% of the world is good people, and they're very hospitable. They love to show you their home. They want to share in their customs. And overall, it's nice to see one another. So the news is going to lie to you all day long. And we're learning about that now with Joe Biden, right? Like, oh, yeah, now he's sick. We've known that. But the news is now trying to backpedal and tell you, oh, yeah. We don't, we weren't sure. Yeah, right. We could see with our two eyes, and we can intuit what feels wrong and what feels right.
You did not ever seem very healthy. It's fun, Sarah. Just so you know, this show was basically created after my travels, and realizing different countries and different this and how things are done so differently. And I was like, I wish there was a place where everyone would have the same basis of knowledge in different areas.
Yeah.
And then after 2 or 3 years of the idea, we eventually came up with Millionaires Are Made. So that's basically how this show got created, was traveling and realizing that there's so much knowledge out there that everyone should have. And so thank you for being a part of that. Jennie, what are your thoughts on Tina's tip?
Well, I think she's obvious. I mean, yes, 100% right. I also think because when you do that, it affords you the opportunity to discern what is ego chatter from your own limited, knowledge base, and what is infinite wisdom coming in when you give it the space, because you shut other things out. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that in a sec. All right, Sarah, can you quickly refresh what your tip is?
My tip is to feel with your heart and to basically go through with your guiding star from within. Because if you are grounded and you start to really practice what feels right for you based on your feeling, your sensing, your knowing, right? And knowing a sixth sense, you can make bold decisions that may be unpopular from the external world, but looking back and sticking to it and believing in yourself and going the course because it feels right, it brings joy, it brings sparkle to your life. You look back and then you know what, you realize you made the right choice. Over time will tell, and it's really validating. That's most important, to validate yourself that I made that right decision, despite the odds and despite the naysayers.
Tina, what are your thoughts on Sarah's tip?
I love that. And here's the biggest thought about what she shared is people who are not in that space, allowing themselves to take the time to get there. Because we are in such a microwave world where it's like, it's not happening. Nothing's moving. I don't see anything. What is she talking about? And we all know that for some, it doesn't happen overnight, but giving yourself permission to continue the journey as you are exploring what you're experiencing, to see what does come up and identify how it is connected to other situations in your life. that is a part of the growth. I think many people are in such a rush for that shift or that change or that growth to happen that they miss the mark on certain things that have already been that big sign and that aha moment, because they're so focused on what they used to experience in the past versus what they're going to experience going forward.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Jenny, what are your thoughts on Sarah's tip?
So again, yes, I 100% agree. I actually use the whole method with heart coherence to go in and kind of bring that your mind and your heart, together to create this really clear signal, because I do a lot of reality creation and manifesting with my clients. So that clear signal to the universe isn't just what you want, but it's who you are. You're sharing who you are, which is all of who you are, about what includes what you want, but it's also what you want to offer and bring out, and your mission and all that stuff. And we're biologically connected to the whole process of that, heart coherence, heart space. And she's absolutely right. Yeah.
All right, here's a question for all of you. Have you guys ever studied liminal thinking or read, I think the book is by David Gray?
I'm aware of it.
So, okay, let's start off with one of the simplest examples, and I'm not sure how I'm going to end this question, but I'm hoping one of you will jump in at some point. So, it kind of begins with talking about three blind men and an elephant in a room. We've all heard this 1,000 times, right? One blind man's like holding the ear, and he's like, "Oh, it's a fan," and the other blind man's holding the tail, and he's like, "It's a rope," and then they start arguing. They're like, "No, you're stupid," this and that. And so, it kind of goes with how your reality, your perception is your reality, right? I'm holding the tail. I'm sure it's a rope. I know it's a rope. I believe it's a rope, and I will try to convince everyone it's a rope. It's very similar with all of our life. Nobody in this world will ever know all of reality, right? Reality is way too big. And all of humankind probably will never ever know all of reality. It's even bigger than everyone here. And so it kind of goes down to intuition. And so he ends up arguing that intuition is basically your beliefs and your perceptions and your experiences, right? Your experiences are going to determine your beliefs. If every time you hold your hand up, a banana appears, you're going to be like, okay, I believe every time that when I hold my hand up, a banana is going to appear. And that starts to become your intuition, right? Oh, I need a banana. Grab it out of the air or whatever. So that's why with Sarah, when you said it was more of an EQ versus an IQ, I was kind of like, oh, I'm interested in hearing how that works, because intuition, here's another question. How do you improve your intuition? And also, what does an improved intuition look like?
I think that's
Shit.
my question. How do I prove intuition? Okay, so I think it is.
It's for anyone.
I think it is.
Go
I
ahead.
think what Tina was saying too, if I'm not mistaken, it's that barrier between you and the outside world, and if we can start to erase that material veil, that sort of kind of in between, we start to see that I'm more empowered. So I think that's how we improve intuition. It's more of an exercise every day. It's a connection within. And in my case, I do a spirit walk in the morning. I connect with nature. I connect with the birds. I look at the blue sky. I close my eyes. I walk with my eyes closed. And sometimes I drum with my Native American drum. All of that is going within and doing sort of an inner analysis of where I am, how am I feeling, what feels right to me, and how am I grounded. So it's an ongoing exercise, just like yoga or anything else, to connect within and to drown out the outside noise.
Yes, I'm in agreement. It's like people who say they can't meditate, for example. Oh, I can't meditate. I can't sit in stillness for 5 minutes or whatever. I don't have the time. You give yourself all of these excuses. And for me, sometimes my deep breath is a meditation. And you don't immediately do it. You build yourself up to it. It's like someone who makes the commitment the new year, I'm going to go to the gym every day, but they haven't been to the gym in the past 7 years. They are not going to the gym today. But the key is, and I heard this story, well, at least you got up and put your clothes on and you drove to the gym. You may not have gotten on the treadmill. And the next time, it's like you building yourself up to this. And it does, just like everything that we have learned in life, it takes, you have to be repetitive with it in order to infuse it within your daily lifestyle. like like Sara, you know, I have a certain practice that I do. I meditate twice a day. I don't care if I go to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night. I have to have a guided meditation to start releasing what is weighed on me for the day, and to create space so my brain can turn the volume down and sleep. Most people, when they say, "Oh, I can't sleep, there's so much going on," and I was like, "Well, what practice do you have? Do you get off the phone and then turn it over and then try to go to sleep?" No, it's not going to happen. Why? Because you're subconsciously thinking about everything you just saw on your phone or that last message. So it does take practice in order for you to build up whatever that stillness is that you need, or that calmness, when it comes to your intuition and tapping into it.
Anything else from either of you?
I'm like, did we stump you?
I think we're all
Sarah, you look
in
like
it
you're ready
here.
to jump at it.
Me?
We're all in
We
agreement.
agree.
Ground
We're practicing
center.
at this.
Sarah's over there like,
Practice.
good, this is nice. This
I know.
is
I wish we had more
great.
time to expound. There's so much you could, around the
Well,
campfire.
we are. Any last words before we go on to our daily challenge?
Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You're your best fan.
I like that one.
Yeah, that is a very true statement. All right, well, let's move on. Daily challenge time. We must come up with a task or series of tasks to improve our intellectual health with intuition. It must take less than 5 minutes a day, cost $0, and be available to everyone in the world from Iran to North Korea. Thoughts?
Okay, I have one.
Okay.
If you don't know how to ground, because a lot of people say I don't know how to ground, I would say just do, again, close your eyes, and in your imagination, imagine yourself getting really, really big, like going up in the air, and then imagine some beams shooting out of the soles of your feet and going into the center of the planet and anchoring into Mother Earth, and then envision like this beautiful spiral of energy swooping around the anchor, the cord, up to your feet, going up through your whole body. And you don't even have to worry about chakras. Just imagine this whole big light beam of love coming up through you and going out the top of your head, up into the highest heavens, going as high as you can possibly envision, and all that infinite wisdom coming down through you, and love coming down through the same thing. So you're creating a light column between heaven and earth, and you're like in the middle of it, floating around in your big, infinite beingness self. And that takes, like, I just did it. It took 1 minute.
Okay, we're going to do that. All right, how do we even
And
type?
it's free.
All right. So you got to go outside, right?
No, you could do this inside. I just did it. I just went.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Close eyes. Imagine giant beam of light from center of Earth to the heavens.
Coming up through you, through your body, going up to the heavens, and being reciprocated with love light coming down the same channel. So you created kind of like a column of light and love, and you're in the middle of it.
All right. Anything else we want to add to it, Sarah and Tina?
Yes, I think something for free that everyone in the world can practice and is so universal is singing and dancing. It's free, right? Joy, be happy, like hug, right? Connect with the heart. That's what makes us human. So anyone from North Korea to Iran to anywhere in the world can sing, even if you can't. Just get it out, from your diaphragm. Just be happy. Choose joy.
Great. Tina, you want to add anything?
Yep. Turn off the TV. Turn off the TV and the social media. Give yourself. I won't make it very hard for you. I won't say go cold turkey for a month. I will say start with an hour. Start with an hour with not tapping into your social media. Start with an hour of not turning on the news first thing in the morning when you wake up. Like, who wants to be distracted first thing in the morning with bad news?
What if we do at least start tracking it? Maybe because a lot of people don't track their social media, I think.
That's true. That's true. And your app can actually do it for you.
Yeah, exactly. Start tracking social media use and minimizing over the next week. So I bet there's gonna be at least like 5 people that are gonna be like, "Oh my god, that's how much I did yesterday." Shit.
It's interesting when you see.
Awesome. All right, we've got our daily challenge, and we learned some tips. Thank you guys so much. We are gonna start dancing already. Sarah's doing her daily challenge already. There it is. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Great show, and
Yes.
everyone thank our guests, and we'll thank our audience and wrap it up. Thank you, Tina. Thank you,
You're
Jenny,
welcome.
and thank you, Sarah. And thank all of you so much for watching another episode of Millionaires Are Made. We learned a lot about intuition. Learned has a lot to do with your emotional your EQ, emotional quotient, IQ. I don't even remember. Why am I so flustered? Oh, it's been a long day. Whew. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Daily challenge is going to be close your eyes and imagine a giant beam of light with all of the world's love and wisdom coming from the center of the earth up through you into the sky or heavens, depending on what you believe. And we got to sing. We're going to have to sing and dance a little bit, and also turn on your social media trackers, and let's do less and less every day for the next week. Hopefully you'll join me on this daily challenge.